Welcome to All Souls Enlightenment Lecture with Seeker, Messenger of Truth, Spiritual Coaching without the fluff. Hello, everyone. It's me, Seeker, Messenger of Truth. And today I'm going to hit on what the true meaning of the word enemy. According to Google's definition, an enemy is a person who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. A hostile nation or its armed forces or citizens, especially in a time of war, the enemy, or a thing that harms or weakens something. All right, let's break it down. An enemy is a person who is actively opposed or hostile to someone or something. What's the expression they say? You are your own worst enemy. Self-sabotage. You're opposed to change. You're opposed to, in your resistance to something that's good for you. We know we're supposed to take that medicine, but it tastes horrible. So why are you fighting? Because of how it tastes. You can't bear the taste to getting better. Is that not self-sabotage? Is that not being your own worst enemy? We need that needle to get better in some cases. What is that? The fear of needles. It's going to hurt. For how long? Endure the pain to get better. Own worst enemy. Here we go. Hostile to someone or something. Hostile to someone or something. Let's look at that. When they say, let me break away, stop projecting your own worst fears onto me. And the person reflects back to the person that's projecting. Let's break that down. Whatever is within thyself, your own worst fears, is projected outwardly. So it becomes a reality. A created manifestation of your own reality, and that is your dimensional level of consciousness. I repeat, it's your own level, dimensional level of consciousness. So if a person, let me break it down as much as possible without losing. So a person who within themselves has a fear of commitment, right? Let's work with that on relationships. A person has a fear of commitment will always get a person in their life, all their relationships will be something that's not worth anything. They don't hold weight, or they will receive something. They'll see something about the love, or they'll receive things like buying a car. That's a commitment. Let's look at that. That's a commitment. Everything in their life is a commitment. They have taken on the responsibility of others in other ways, paying their bills, or always being there to get them out of something. It's an obligation to another. or something. That's a commitment. That's projected outwardly. And from within about the fear of commitment. So the world is being shown, by the universe is showing them that this is a fear they have. Nothing is stable unless it's tangible. People lie. People don't keep promises and things of such. That all becomes an issue. I hope I explained that well. Now, let's look at that. The hostility of commitment, loyalty, and such is something that person or being would be looking for, but no one is. It's all tied together. Look at the reflection of what you're receiving in your life. Retrospection and reflecting. So this is what COVID was for. Everyone was to take a time out. Now let's breakaway for a second. When a person commits a crime, let's think about this. It costs, right? They're going to have to pay the time. So they're incarcerated. That's a timeout to think about what you've done. It's to put someone in hermit mode. Why do you think so many that come out have found Allah, Muslim nation, Buddhism, some sort of spirituality or religion because they found God or some source that's given them a new look or outlook on life. Is this true? Is this not true? So explain to me, yourself, and others, why is it that that's not what most did during fathers, and this is what I call them, you know this, creators, divine pandemic, to make you sit home, make man sit home and deal with their inner demons, their enemies. Their number one enemy is called truly an inner me. Now let's break it down. I'll repeat myself. The number one problem each human faces before the awakening process, it's called inner me. Inner me. Inner demons. Self-sabotage. And the hostile opposition of someone or something. And that's the ego fighting the awakening process. The enemy, inner me, is the ego consciousness fighting to the dark night of the soul. Because here comes the etheric true being, your subconscious. Your true self will battle within. And I'll put the video I did called Waking Up Alone. You have to shed yourself. Get out of your own way. Let's look at the next definition. A hostile nation. Especially in the time of war. Let's read that again. A hostile nation, especially in time of war. What does that mean? What is this spiritual warfare? During this time, it's spiritual warfare. In the reveal, aka revelation, aka the awakening ascension process. I'll let that sit for a moment. The hostile nation. Let's remember let's go back. The imagination. Remember, let's go back. Source created man in his image. Not the fact of what he looked like, as in this person got blue eyes, this person got this. No, the imagination. God has no look. That's a human tangibility of the five senses as being a human. The sixth sense supersedes all. How do you see? What do you see? When a person does perception, how do you see it? Is that your third eye? Or is that logical thought? I'll let you figure that one out for yourself. But let's look at this. The hostile imagination, the image nation, the hostility of everything going on. You are the nation as a single unit. Put together, we are an entire nation, but we are the image. Imagination. It's illusional, all of this. When a person is trapped within their own thoughts and trapped and can't deal with certain things, just keep going over things over and over and over in their minds. What do you think that is? That is imprisonment. That's a hostile environment. And anyone, when the spiritual comes in, okay, and the awakening process happens, the ego knows it's getting ready to die. It becomes hostile. It becomes defendant, defiant, and resistant to anything of change. It knows its time is up. Period. What is that? The inner me is my enemy. That's the way the ego consciousness is viewed. It views the subconscious as an enemy. The subconscious sees the ego conscious as the dark night of the soul because it doesn't know better. It doesn't know truth. It only knows what it's been programmed to do. People are upset about bots, but that's all the flesh is AI. It's the original artificial intelligence. It's the illusion, aka the imagination. The source said, I'm going to create a human earth realm. And I'm going to create these scenarios here, 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 here. With all these different variables, and the universe will provide what the end result of the divine plan will be. When it's all completed and said and done, we'll do the callback. I'll let that sit in for a moment. Your inner me is self-preservation. It's going to fight tooth and nail. So how many inner me's do you have that are projected outwardly in the actual world that is reflecting back to you? What's it showing you? What is it showing you about you? You ask for answers. Why is this happening? Why is that happening? Why does this something that consistently happens? You sit there and you say, Holy Spirit, please show me the answers I seek of absolutional truth. How do you think you're going to receive those answers if you're not open to meditation, to receive the answers? How else do you think you're going to get it? Spirit's not going to write you a letter. Spirit's not going to call you on the telephone. Spirit's not going to text you. It's not going to email you. Okay? That's not how it works. But it will work this way. It will give you signs. It'll come up in a feed. It'll come up in ads. It'll come up. Words will catch you here or there. But are you paying attention? Are you so busy resisting and fighting that you're your own worst enemy? Here we go. A thing that harms or weakens something else. Here we go. I'm going to repeat that. A thing that harms or weakens something else. Let's take that. Let's take the first part. That harms. The ego consciousness feels it's being harmed. So what is happening? It's taking this situation that it knows is coming. It knows its death is coming. Its successor's getting ready to come in, swoop in, take over, which is the subconscious mind. The ego conscious successor is the sub. Okay, we're subbing in, right? Substituting consciousness. Substituting consciousnesses. So ego, subconscious of the supreme conscious of all there is in the imagination. It feels it's harmed. So what is it going to do? It's going to fight. It's going to become hostile. Okay? It's dealing with the etheric realm. So you can't see it happening. You only feel it. The anxiety that you receive. It all bases, and I'll cut away, from separation. It's separation anxiety. Why does everybody have anxiety? Because they're separated from its original source, which is source. Oh, how about that? The original source, God source, creator, the Holy Most High. That etheric being within, that subconscious, is separated on this side. It used to be a veil, but on this side of the veil. Let's just go with that for now. There is no veil anymore. This is why everything is so open. This is why people are going insane. They're not able to handle or can't get a grip. It's not depression. It's the inner me that needs to be dealt with on a spiritual level. But everybody wants to take drugs. Everybody wants a quick fix. No one wants to go inside and deal with those inner demons, that dark night of the soul, those little inner child core wounds. It starts there. How many things have you covered up from your childhood that you just took in? All right? Now let's get back to it. So when the ego consciousness feels that it's in harm's way, it fights back. It becomes hostile to those outwardly. Projecting, displaced anger, hostility, anxiety, all of this. Can't do anything of change. Feel like you're out of control. Well, who's in control of you but you? Once being accepts the fact that they have no control over everything and accept that, life will change. Your human experience will change. And it's all a matter of mental stability. A state of mental stability. Now, I did a video, I can't remember the exact name of it right now, called The State of Mind, and I'm going to put that in the description box below as well. What's the weakness? A thing that weakens something else. So, the ego consciousness is in harm's way. It feels like harm is coming to it from the subconscious that's weakening it. This is why binaurals, while sleeping, work best. There are some that you could use that to quiet the mind, to relax. Those you can do during the day because there's nothing fighting it. Okay? But when you start doing those binaurals that are resets and tones and things of such, remove blocks, remove fears and things of that nature, when you start doing those type of binaurals, you do those at night while you're sleeping so that the ego consciousness will not fight back. It will not know where it's coming from. That's just a little side note. Okay. Know that you're worth more. Start thinking logically. If this is this, then that is that. This dose of medicine is horrible. And I did a video on that too. It's a tarot read that came out for the world. And I'll put that in the description box as well. Ignore the fact that it's a tarot read. It was such a heavy message that Spirit and Father was bringing through with my guides to help walk me through it. So that I would get it right to convey the message to thee. Now I strictly just channel. I just run it through. My knowing is a lot of it. But I don't want to get into that either. Just know that until you get out of your way, your own way, you're your worst enemy. You're in a constant battle to do the right thing. Why? Allow yourself to have done the wrong thing that you consider the wrong thing, but it may not have been the wrong thing. It may have been the thing that you were supposed to do or the purpose of why you came here in the first place. The Creator, Source, the Holy Most High, every single thing created from itself was created for purpose. The domino effect, the butterfly effect, all of it is necessary. And everybody's like, we all one thing. You can't skip this part. You cannot skip this part. This is why these things don't work. Everybody's like, oh, let's do these affirmations. I am this and that. No, you can't trick your mind. You have to shoot that shit down and say, you're no longer in charge. Thank you for getting me this far, but this is not real. You not real. What you learned is AI. Your ego consciousness is artificial intelligence. It's what you've been programmed to know. It's learning through physical experience. It's not knowing. It combats your true nature of knowing who you are, what you are, where you're from. The ego consciousness thinks it's separated from source. There is no source because it can't see it. It can't touch. It can't feel. See, touch, taste, smell, and hear. It doesn't deal. The ego consciousness does not comprehend emotions because it's only programmed to what it thinks it is. It has no knowing in that department. So how are you going to know what true love is? Let's go with that. Why would you argue something you know nothing about based upon something that your artificially intelligence learned? I, robot. And I'll let that sit for a moment. I hope this shed a little bit of light on making things make sense. Bridging the gap between religion, spirituality, and logical reasoning. So, human robots, are you ready to listen now? Are you ready to get out of your own way and stop self-sabotage? Stop being your worst enemy. Love thyself, accept thyself, and move forward. And stop allowing the ego system to rule your life and tell you that some things will never change. It's not true. We're now using technology by touching a screen when we used to have a ribbon and a typewriter. Love to all. Peace to all. Wonders to thee. Ciao.